listen to me. Let me just say, I know all my neighbours are listening to me and I don't really care. And I'm going to try, all you can hear is when I get into my garden and I try to sit on a meditation bench and all it takes is like, I look and I go, Mr. Jesus Christ. Listen, I got into Watford, and even when they put me on the chair to sit down, who told me to wear a waist trainer on top of it? So I'm trying to wear a waist trainer. OMG. So I decide.
That caused some problems.
Did you not hear what I just said? By the time, because I'd worn it all day, so I've put this girdly thing. This thing is a thing that I've worn before, where I've gone to like little house party, and I've put it on like a corset sort of thing underneath. Yeah, it's not even like a waist trainer. It's like like the one that you clip underneath you crutch and you bring it up. Yeah, and so it kind of just holds you all in. So right. So I haven't worn that for ages because obviously we haven't been anywhere to wear it for ages. So anyway, I've put that on now. And decided, I'm going to wear this. Now this is now 8 hours now. 8 hours. It got so bad, right? So when the woman was talking to me, so I've gone all the way to Fur Watford or nearly Amersham, right? Got into Amersham, and while I'm on the train, I'm carrying the laptop, and I'm like, and all I could feel is my size 14 legs, which feels like they're going to a 16, 18, rubbing together in these black jeans. The sun is peering down, and I don't care. And the worst thing is I've got like a top that had no sleeves. But then it was polo neck-ish. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I now decide. So this is how I'm going to, navigate into this work. When I got into this office, it was dead. There was nobody there. Big glass building. There was no one there. So the woman met me. I said, "Look, I've come to sort out the laptop." Blah blah blah. And then I met this other girl. And she said, "Yeah, me too." And I said, "Right, great, because otherwise then I can go back home and re-tear." Anyway, we were still there for 8 hours. At one point, there was nowhere, because it was so far in the ghetto, as far as I'm concerned. The ghettos it was beautiful countryside, but it just felt like, where am I? I must have been in Peru, somewhere in the Amazonian, because who lives down there with no shops? I thought where I live, I swear to God, I thought that where I live in a little northeast Chingford, Woodford, walking down the end of my road was a plight. Listen, just to put my shoes on to walk to the end of the road was like, call me a cab to get to the shop. This place had no shops.
Oh my God.
The nearest shop was like 20 minutes, nearly 15, 20 minutes drive in a car, and it was the BP petrol station, which had a Marks and Sparks inside. I was like, who lives here? Then I thought, I could never live in the countryside, really, really live in the countryside, because they would find my body dead, riddled, because I'm not moving. And I am not waiting for, So through COVID, I don't know how those people that live in the woodlands, right, cope. Because they must have one Sainsbury's that covers a whole, 50-mile radius.
But you're forgetting that there is such a thing called, deliveries.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Even if they had a delivery, could you imagine that one dry Dega Sainsbury's or that Tesco's or, let's forget, it could be Okada or Waitrose, right? That covers those rural, let's call it rural areas, right? Could you imagine? No wonder they were buying out the tablets and the toilet paper in the shops and absolutely going on crazy, because it is fur, right? So anyway, I'm sitting down in this place now, waiting for the IT people to fix this phone, to calibrate the laptop and make sure I might as well just gone to an Apple shop, right? Sat there, and I was like, at one point I heard myself breathing like this. Margaret, I swear dead. This is me. I tell you what, if I don't undo this corset, right, I'm so gonna die. But did I undo it? No. This girl comes up and says, "Look, I'm just gonna run down the shop." And when she looked at me, she goes, "Run down the shop." I looked at her and thought, "You're about the same size as me, so I want to know where you're running to," right? So then she goes, "No, I've got a car outside." So I said, "Okay." She goes, "Do you want to come along?" And I'm looking outside thinking, I'm full black. Sun is like 25 degrees. I'm just about to bun up. Did I get bun up? Listen, the woman's got an all black car. She parked the car under no shade. So when I got in... Right. When I got into the car, right, the black leather seats melted into my black jeans, right? Into my black jacket, and all of a sudden, my lovely wig, yes, my wig, I decided not to put my hair in a ponytail. All of a sudden, the wig started to shift and fall and slide off the head because the heat was so intense in the car. It started to melt the synthetic hair. Anyway, so I swear to God. Right, you could feel the wig slightly sliding over because it started to melt now, right? Now, if my hair was melting, you could imagine the corset was burning into the whole body, and there's a black top and the heat. Listen, when she pulled up at the petrol station, I tried to climb out of the car because it was one of those, you know the car like what you had? What's the car? You know the big, like the high, what was that car you had?
The Cougar.
Oh, yeah, the car called Cougar. Rotted.
That is my car.
Oh, right, yeah, the one that you kind of have to step up high into like a Jeep-looking sort of thing, right? So she had something like that in full black. So trying to climb into the car with the jeans that don't fit me, which is hanging at my back like I look like a prisoner. Those guys that, you know, the guys who wear their low rider jeans. So my batty crack crease is showing because the jeans no longer fits my batty. So now I'm having to climb up and get into the car and pull the jeans up, and both legs are now rubbing together. It was not pretty. So I'm now climbing out of this woman's car. She must be thinking, what is wrong with this woman? You know what I'm saying? So I climbed down. All you could hear me when my foot touched the ground. Oh. I kind of made this. I literally, when my foot touched the floor, all you heard was, and I went, nah, I am not that fat. I am not that big. But my God, whatever that I've put onto my poor frame body in the last 6-7 months is criminal, right? So anyway, I walked into the shop, and all you could hear is my legs going together. In the, you know, well, that's what I could hear. Everybody else probably could hear it, but that's what I could hear. Then the girl then turns and said, I said, oh, I love your dress that you've got on. She then turns around and says to me, yeah, I've been sitting at home eating chocolates and I've got my dog Cooper and blah, 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 blah. She's going on, and the dress really looked nice. And then she said, yeah, because I've put on so much weight. So, you know, and you couldn't really tell. So in my head, I thought, right, for the first time in my life, I'm now going to wear granny dresses because it's the only thing that is going to hide the batty. Yeah, simple as that. It's going to hide the batty. So I'm now going to find, which is not granny dresses. I think everyone is wearing them now, you know, the summer, you know, it's all long now. People aren't wearing those tight up over the knee things now, are they?
Yeah.
I mean, young girls are now dressing in, you know, when I say young girls, but women are now wearing, you know, very elegant England-fied, I call them, you know, country-looking dresses in all various colours. I said, listen, Primani, me and you are friends today. We are going to buy those dresses so you don't see my batty rubbing together. But going back to the brother, right?
Yeah.
So while I'm in the shop, all I can think about is this guy turning around and saying to me, oh, Valerie, you are very fine. And listen, the guy was literally looking from me, Panani, all the way up, because I'm standing at the top of my doorstep, you get what I'm saying? And he's just standing normally on the ground, you know, towards the gate. And he's talking to me, but he cannot even look in my eye. All he kept saying was, yeah, so your windows are washed. And then his eyes was just gazed on my hips. And it's like he walked up and he wanted to touch my hips sort of thing. And I had to look at him like, brother, you touch me and I'll karate you. Right, and that's all he kept doing for about 10 minutes, and I'm having to go to work. Yeah, he's looking at me and going, oh, do you run? Do you do this? Do you do? I said, no. I said, you're just seeing a pile of size 16, like 14 to 16 piled into a 12 to 14 jeans. And so it's making my hips look far, far bigger than it really. I said, if I take these off now, it will go. And the guy just burst out laughing. He said, what? He said, I don't think you need to lose any weight. I think you are perfect. I thought, how old are you? 12? Do you know what I mean? And he just kept goggle-eyed at me. And that's when I thought, right, black is now the new colour for Val. I don't care what it is. Black just looks good. It makes and then the corset thing I had on, it plumps up the bottom. So my bum now just looked perky in this corset thing. Anyway, so now 8 hours later, wearing this corset thing, sun is killing it. I finally left Watford, in Furfur. I'm going to keep...
How did you get there, by the way?
Mate, it was like... I can't even speak. That's how bad it is. I took an Uber to the station, And if I get to Euston, and then from Euston I can get to Watford Junction, which is an hour. That's not bad. But then when I still get to Watford Junction, I've still got another 20 minutes drive to Rickmansworth, if you know what I'm saying to you. So it is a bit of a journey. Anyway,
it's quicker to come to Coventry.
Yeah.
It's an hour
really,
to Coventry and then 2 minutes.
There you go. I might as well just find a job down there and just come there and done, right? What makes me... But hold on, you haven't heard the worst. There's a couple of days I have to go to Bristol and there's a couple of days I have to go to Brighton. But where the offices are is on the beach. So I'm like, yes! Oh, my God. And the guy's telling me he's got this outside studio so I can go out in the studio. I can make my... I was like, what?
What is it that he's...
It's a massive company that deals with. They work alongside IKEA and Skanska, which is one of the biggest companies, as in terms of they're building the HS2. They have media. They've got everything. Yeah. Well, no, IKEA is part of Skanska. You mean? But but they deal with everything from media, you name it. I thought, wow. I just looked up in the sky to Father God, and I thought, I have just lucked out here in COVID. The funny thing is, now that everything's opening, I'm now getting jobs to go and do singing again. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, how am I going to do this? So, I'm going to have to balance that. But anyway, getting back to the corset. So 8 hours later, I'm still in this corset. I'm waiting for the sun to go down. Eventually, the woman who, you think I can talk? This woman, the woman that was there, lovely, lovely woman. And I don't want to say nothing too tough, but if you say you ask one question, that one question is going to last 20 minutes. Yeah, the answer to that question is 20 minutes because it's a diversion to get there. But lovely, love her. No, you know what? I'm lying. I'm just as bad because that's exactly what I do. And I love her. And it was so good to meet someone just like me, like her. And I thought, yeah, me and her are going to just knock heads. We're just going to get on. It's wicked. Absolutely wicked. Anyway, she said, I'll offer you a lift to the station. I said, no problem. Struggled to get into the car, pretending that it was just a laptop and everything was too heavy in my bag, right? Struggled because her car was a little bit low down. Got in. As soon as she dropped me to the nearest station, I looked around, and because it's far, there was probably 6 people wait for this train, like 8 minutes. And it's a normal train that goes into London. In my head, I thought, thank you, I live in Woodford. Thank you, Jesus. You know what I mean? I would never complain again going to the shop at the end of the road. And I stood there, and all you could hear me going is like this. Because by now, I am being strangulated by the tight jeans, by the corset, and now the hair. 3 times I had to literally go back inside the people's bathroom and try to secure it on my head because the heat was so intense. It really, the synthetic was now becoming the colour of my skin because it was blending into my skin because it was so hot, right? So I then got onto, the train comes and I sat down, and because the train was still outside, because after about 10 stops, it goes into the tunnel to come into London. Do you think I care? I got on the train and I waited till there's no one sitting around me because it was sparse. I lifted up my clothes on this train, pulled my jeans down because I didn't have to pull it down because it just kept falling down anyway. What kind of jeans is that I've got on? No belt. It just can't take the weight and the strain of all the fats that I've piled into it, and it just slid down. Luckily, it was kind of had a good bit of elastication left in it. Poor jeans, right? And I literally unhooked every single of the zip down. Then you got to unhook the hooks, the hook and eyes, and all you could see in my belly go whoop. On the train, I undid the whole thing on this train. The only thing I couldn't do was get it off, that I could pull it down. I had to take the whole jeans off. And I literally just undid it and took my top and put it back over. And I sat there and I thought, luckily I had this kind of other jacket that didn't look so bad. So you couldn't tell. The only thing you'd probably think is what sort of pregnancy she got, because the belly looks kind of thin there, but on the 2 sides but that was the corset that had pretty much had just opened up and just sat there. And I sat there and I was like, the only part now that was hurting me now was my bottom part, because it was still around my bum, giving me the perky bum on top of the jeans. So I said, right, I'm going to have to just suffer that got into Liverpool Street. I was just about able to walk through the turnstiles to get the overhead train. As soon as I got on the train, I ordered an Uber to meet me at the station. Meet me at the station. When I got to my door, the next thing I knew is I was saying to myself, I need to call an ambulance. I really do need to call an ambulance. Because I was so ill. My whole body.
It's evil. No, honestly, those things, they need to come with a warning, because I had no idea. None idea. You know, my stomach didn't go back to normal for a good year after I did that. A good year it took my stomach to go back to normal. And that was me wearing it one day, and I was, doing rough and tumble, with kids and stuff on the day, and this and the other, really, up and down and all around the place. I'm telling you, my stomach was messed up, and I'm telling you,
it does. It really does mess you up. Because I've never had to worry about wearing one of those, corset, blah, blah things. And women live on it. I mean, look at these girls now who have the flattest belly, but a big backside the size of a shed. Do you know what I'm saying? How they can walk around looking like that is beyond me. Oh, my God, let me not say this, right? Because I'm halfway there. But what I'm saying is, I don't understand I just don't understand the flat belly and the shapely everything. And then when you get down to the vaginal area, the hips are like, they're just like roaring at you. And you've got the flat, and that's because they wear these waist trainer things so that they can have the flat belly. And don't get it. I don't think I'll ever get it. I don't like, it's just not for me. It just isn't for me. But wearing those things for 8 hours a day, squeezing everything, I thought I was having a cardiac. Yeah. I was breathing heavy.
It's got to go somewhere, innit?
Mate, it was going into my butty. That's where it was going. And all I know is that I literally thought I had COVID. I came home, one respiratory infarctions, whatever it was. I was on the sofa. I was trying to walk, and the pain, I was like, oh God, and my legs felt hard. Listen, all I know is that when I woke up, when did I go there? On Thursday. When I woke up yesterday, and I remember taking a couple of painkillers, I thought, oh, I feel a little better today. And then I realised it was a freaking corset. It was the corset that had been causing me, where I'd been wearing it. It was probably a size too small for me to wear in the first place. Right? Putting on a size too small.
Yeah, my one was I got the size smaller than me as well. Even though the size that you have is going to be small, isn't it? Because it's for your size.
Well, this is it. I bought that ages ago.
Smaller.
Yeah, but the one that I bought that ages ago when I wasn't this size. So when I bought it, I was at the right size to wear it. The size that I have now is 2 sizes smaller than when I bought it originally, is what I've tried to say. So I've got all of this, where I was like 79 kilos when I bought it then. Mate, I'm 89 kilos, There's a lot to be saying really out. But I'm not ashamed of saying it because I know that I'm trying to lose it, if that makes sense. But the corset almost made me feel like I was COVID. I was the temperature. Every minute I was taking my pulse, and I sat there at 12 o'clock at the night. I was like, nah, I'm not well. I'm really not well. I thought, how did I manage to make myself this ill? The corset. Yep. The corset.
Yep.
And I just said to myself, listen to me, Val, right? You stop eating meat, right? Just keep taking your time. Eat what, it's 80% what you put in, 20% exercise. Just keep walking, but forget the corset. Do you know what I mean? I cannot be putting on the corset again. I mean, I do have a waist trainer, and even when I put that on, I'm walking around going, and I'm like, I said, no, my body's so not governed to wear those things. I'm just not used to it. And I'm not going to start trying now. Do you know what I'm saying? I am just going to try my best. And I hate doing crunches. But that was my my claim to COVID non-fame, and wearing a corset and making myself ill and deciding that I cannot keep doing that and just keep doing what I need to do. But this guy, all he kept saying was, oh my God, you're beautiful. You just feel shape. And I'm like, please stop celebrating at the door. You're 12.
Nice, man. It's nice to be celebrated over.
Well, yeah, but look, my hair, if you ever saw the state of my head. Now, if you'd come back and seen when by the time I'd fixed my hair up and everything else, we probably would have ended up in the bedroom. But, at the end of the day, he saw me in the naked glory when the hair looked like it was just needed to be under a bonnet, and the fact that the forehead just did not join the rest of the head. So, but yet still, he didn't see that. He just saw these legs in these black jeans, and because the waist trainer obviously gave you the curves and it pulled in my waist, it looked like I had this tiny little waist, and and my tits were like very plump, and I was like, okay, thank you for giving my ego a boost this time in the morning, but I've got to go. Bang. He then texts my phone a couple of hours later, because I'm looking forward to looking after your garden. This is me. I just burst out laughing on the tree. I thought,
a minute, though.
my garden? I thought you were just going to come and wash my windows. But he does gardening, and he does gardening, and he then proceeded to tell me in this conversation that he's going to cut the front, literally just mow down the front of my house, the garden, the hedge that I have, and he's going to plant burdock, valerian, nettles, so that because he went into my garden and he went, oh my God, you've got all the natural roots. I have to go when I run in the woods on a weekly. He went, I have to pick these from the woods. He said, I'm going to pick you some and get you some seeds, and I'm going to come and plant it. So, and he went, you've got this already. Look, you have nettles. You need to soak this. The guy was just telling me, he goes, you don't need to go to the shop and buy tea. You can make this overnight. It would drop the weight that you're looking. I was like, wow. I was like, how old are you again? 12? That's all I kept saying.
Are you saying that other bloke?
Oh, please, let's not even. That's a whole different conversation. Okay. Let me tell you. OMG.